Look, if you want to understand the architecture of the human soul and the profound impact of a single individual on the course of a civilization, you have to look at Khwaja Muinuddin Chishti. We're talking about a man who didn't just exist in history. He transformed the moral landscape of the Indian subcontinent. He represents the voluntary adoption of the highest possible responsibility, the responsibility to bring a message of peace and radical equality to a world characterized by rigid hierarchy and chaos. This isn't just a story, it's an archetype of the hero's journey, one that demands we confront the question, what does it mean to truly serve the divine in the face of overwhelming odds? Before we dive into the life of this extraordinary saint, I want to ask you something. Think about your own life. Is there a principle you hold so dear that you would leave everything behind to manifest it in a foreign land? What is that one truth for you? Let me know in the comments below. I genuinely want to see what drives your moral compass. Now, to understand the Muinuddin Chishti, the Sultan-ul-Hind, you have to understand the context of the 12th century. He was born in Sistan, in what is now modern-day Iran, around 1141, and you have to realize this was a time of immense political upheaval. But Muinuddin wasn't interested in the shifting sands of political power. After losing his parents at a young age, he inherited an orchard and a windmill. He was set, materially speaking, but he had this encounter, this shattering experience with a mystic named Ibrahim Kunduzi. It's that moment where the material world is revealed to be insufficient. He sold everything. He gave the money to the poor. He became a seeker. That is the first step of the great work, the shedding of the ego and the pursuit of the transcendent. He spent years traveling through the great centers of learning, Samarkand, Bukhara, honing his intellect and his spirit. He eventually became a disciple of Khwaja Usman Harooni. For 20 years, he served his teacher. 20 years! Think about the discipline required for that. In our modern culture of instant gratification, we can barely commit to a 20-minute video, let alone 2 decades of spiritual apprenticeship. But that discipline is the forge in which the soul is tempered. Eventually, following a vision during a pilgrimage to Medina, he was directed toward India. He arrived in Ajmer at a time of intense friction, but he didn't come with an army. He came with a message of sul-ikul, universal peace. This is the idea that the divine spark exists in every single individual, regardless of caste, creed, or social standing. It's a radical idea even today. He established the Chishti order in India, prioritizing the needs of the poor and the marginalized. He lived simply, he ate sparingly, and he spoke a language of love that bypassed the intellectual defenses of the ego. The Dargah in Ajmer today isn't just a tomb, it's a testament to the fact that spiritual authority outweighs temporal power. Kings have come and gone, empires have crumbled into dust, but the influence of the Gharib Nawaz, the benefactor of the poor, remains unshakable. He taught that the highest form of worship is to develop river-like generosity, sun-like affection, and earth-like hospitality. That is a high bar, man. It's a call to move beyond the self-centered me and into a state of being that sustains others. When we look at his life, we aren't just looking at a biography, we are looking at a map for how to live. To be truthful, to be courageous, and to be relentlessly compassionate. He passed away in 1236, but the fire he lit, the fire of spiritual integration and social harmony, continues to burn. It's a reminder that one person aligned with the truth can change the world.